Hi, welcome to Arts and Science Camp 2021 Virtual Edition. This is day one, Blast Off, a day in outer space. Today we will be creating a self-portrait picture that is based on the artwork of Georgia O'Keeffe's Ladder to the Moon. Inside your backpacks, your parents or somebody in your home will find instructions for how to take your picture. And the end product should look something like this. We have a picture for you. And the materials that you will need, you're going to need to make sure you've got some watercolor paper or some thick paper. You're going to need a paintbrush and some paper towels or napkins. You will need plain paper for drawing a moon. You will need your watercolors and a yellow crayon or oil pastel. You will need some popsicle sticks, glue, glitter, scissors, and a Sharpie marker. And you're going to use your Sharpie to go ahead and write your name at the bottom of your artwork. And that way with the Sharpie, when you add your watercolors, it will not bleed or run or anything like that. So, the first thing after you get your picture made, you are going to take your yellow crayon or pastel and we're going to make some stars and swirls kind of in different areas of our picture. So you can make the stars where you make them like little crosses like A's. You can do line stars, just using some lines. You can then do some spirals and swirls. You can make some really little, some big. And when you feel like you've got it kind of looking the way that you like it, so you kind of have, you've got your stars and your spirals kind of spread out around the paper, we are going to start to watercolor over it. Now the crayon is going to kind of resist the watercolor paint. So it's not going to stick to the crayon, but it will stick to the rest of your paper. So you're going to want to make sure that you wet your brush really well. And you're going to choose colors that are going to be like space. So blues, purples, things like that. Different shades of blues, some light, dark, and use a good bit of water. You're going to want to make it pretty good and wet. And you're going to want to cover your whole paper. Try not to leave any white spots. And then you might need to keep reapplying and dipping in your watercolor. So you can kind of get some different shades going on. So just keep going back and forth until you fill up your whole paper. And if it's kind of blotty and wet when you get finished, you can take your paper towel or napkin and kind of blot some of the really wet spots. And it kind of gives it a neat look too, like in outer space. So, but keep filling it up. That's the thing. You want to make sure you fill up your whole paper. So we'll keep going back and forth. And then you can blot as you need to. And keep adding more water. The more water you have on your brush, the easier the paint is to spread. So you will have your painting and you're going to need to let this dry. This is going to take some time to dry. So maybe while it's drying, once you get your picture, your portrait picture printed, you can cut yourself out of it and get that done just so long as this has time to set aside and dry. So while you're doing that and you've got your picture ready and everything, you can draw a moon on just another piece of paper, and you're going to take your yellow crayon and color in your moon. You can color in the whole thing of it. So just fill it up. You can use your Sharpie marker to do this and outline it, or you can just draw it straight with your crayon and then cut it out. And then when your watercolor picture is dry, we'll glue this down. So get all of your moon colored in and cut out. So when your picture dries, so I had one that was dry so that you can see how we can go ahead and get it put together. You're going to want to turn your picture portrait way so that you can have your ladder going up and have your picture on it there. So you'll get some popsicle sticks and liquid glue or stick glue. I think liquid glue would probably be best for the popsicle sticks, but it would work with stick glue as well. It just might take a little bit of extra glue. So you're going to take your popsicle sticks and you are going to create a ladder. You're going to start with some going vertical, and then you're going to put some going across it horizontally. You might want to start kind of closer to the bottom of your picture so that you can have room to build your ladder up and then have your picture of yourself on it and your moon. So you'll get that glued on. And if you wanted to, you can even make your ladder longer. You can make it taller than this, however you wanted to make it look. So you will get your moon that you colored. We'll glue that down on your paper as well. And then you will have your portrait picture that you've done and had cut out and everything. And we're going to glue it onto where it looks like your feet are standing on the top step of the ladder and your arm is reaching up towards the moon there. And after you get that on, we've got you can use some star stickers. You can stick some stars all around it. So you'll have your drone stars and your sticker stars with your spirals. And then if you look at it and think that there's anything else that you'd like to add to it just to give it a neat look, maybe you want to draw a little tiny rocket ship on it, you could do that, draw that on there as well. But you definitely don't have to. You could just leave it like this with your portrait. And definitely wait until your glue dries before you pick it up and move it so it doesn't fall apart. There. But I hope that you have enjoyed your Blast Off Day artwork inspired by Georgia O'Keeffe's Ladder to the Moon. And we will see you next time.